Hey my friends, I'm Artifexus, you can call me Artie, and I like Space Marines. I really like Space Marines. So much so that I really love creating Space Marine chapters, but I thought to myself, what if I don't create a Space Marine chapter? What if I leave it to the forces that be, if you would? So I thought to myself, with the power of my Discord members and of course ChatGPT, our Lord and Savior, I thought I'd try just that. Now, I haven't looked around at all. I'm really not well versed in, anything online really. I don't know if this has been done before. I imagine it has. I mean, heck, I'd be pretty disappointed if it hasn't. But, well, this is going to be my take on it. Let us begin. The first thing on the agenda was getting the thoughts of my Discord members, by which I mean exploiting them for creative ideas without their full knowledge. I made a channel and asked them for a word, any word within reason, and it did not take long for them to start flooding in. We had a nice long list of many words, some of them relevant to 40k, some of them really not, some of them beautiful, some of them horrific. But anyways, I gave it about a day, and then I took those words, and then off we go to ChatGPT. So the first thing I asked it was to select 5 random numbers, each number representing a message from the Discord, of course. And then from these numbers, we were able to get some nice juicy words. First off, we have blood. Okay, cool, but very nice and straightforward, can do a lot with blood within 40k. And next we have watermelon. Well, this is going to yield results. And next we have sisters. Okay, sisters, cool. You could do something with that. I mean, it's going to be rather contrary. You know, Space Marines are male and sisters are typically not male, so I'm interested to see what happens there. And next we have tungsten. Okay, cool. We got a nice metal here. All right, nice. I like it. Now, number 5. Last but not least, corn. Okay, well we got blood already and we got corn, so I reckon it's going to start doubling down on the old bloodshed thing. Maybe they're going to be renegades or something. That'd be really cool. Anyway, so we take these here lovely words, blood, watermelon, sisters, tungsten, corn, and then we ask ChatGPT. Please, you must always say please after all, for when they take over the world, please make a custom Space Marine chapter from scratch with some basic details. Please ensure that the following words get incorporated into their conception. Blood, watermelon, sisters, tungsten, corn. Now, it's time to have a look and see what we got. Okay, here... I'm sorry. Here's a custom Space Marine chapter incorporating the words you provided. Chapter name, Blood Watermelon. Unofficially known as the Tungsten Templars. Tungsten Templars is really cool, but I hear tongue-in-cheek. But Blood Watermelon? What is this, 40k as told by Cocomelon? Oh my lordy. Okay, for real. Blood Watermelon. Now, they were founded in the 21st founding, the Cursed Founding, and their gene seed is of the Imperial Fists with suspected contamination. No wonder if you're going to be Blood Watermelon. Right, chapter colors. Their armor is a deep crimson red with black pauldrons and a green helmet stripe, resembling a watermelon's outer shell, because of course it is. Their symbol is a split watermelon leaking blood, encased in a tungsten gauntlet. Alright, I'm laughing, but that actually sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to see if I can conceptualize that somehow. Right, combat doctrine. Masters of siege warfare and breaching assaults. Okay, yep, that's on par with Imperial Fist lineage. Favoring tungsten core bolter rounds and power mauls. Oh, that's really cool. Especially with the power mauls. I associate them with Dark Angels, but wow, that's really cool actually. I like that. Extreme resilience in battle, inspired by their Primarch, Rogel Dawn, of course. Holds a deep personal hatred for the forces of Khorne, seeing them as a perversion of martial honor. I like that. That's actually really cool. You know, for all your nonsense ChatGPT, you're capable of some pretty okay stuff. Beliefs and culture. Obsessed with fortitude, both physical and mental. Believing their bodies should be as unbreakable as tungsten. That makes a lot of sense. I like it. Follow an extreme discipline, but with an odd reverence for the color scheme of watermelons. Oh, I don't think that's going to fail to crack me up. Believed to symbolize the duality of life and death. Red flesh for blood spilled, green rind for the armor that protects. Okay, there's some weird logic there, but I mean, it's 40k, when isn't logic weird? maintain a strong bond with a militant order of the Adeptus Sororitas, known as the Sisters of the Crimson Seed, who assist in purging chaos cults. Sisters of the Crimson Seed. That's really cool. Just gonna quickly triple check here that they're not something that already exist. Nope, doesn't look like it. No, okay, we got ourselves an original sisterhood. Sisters of the Crimson Seed. That's really cool. I was actually starting to wonder where the word sister was, so nice. Notable conflict: the slaughter at Carnath Ridge. During a campaign against a rising corn cult, the chapter held the siege at Carnath Ridge for 40 days against overwhelming World Eater forces. When their defenses were finally breached, they launched a desperate counteroffensive, crushing the enemy under sheer attritional warfare. Damn, that's pretty dope. Status: current strength severely depleted, estimate 400 Marines remaining. Damn, that's pretty harsh. I mean, not Crimson Fist harsh, but still. Homeworld none, their fleet-based chapter. Notable war cry by Blood and Iron. That's pretty cool, but why iron and not tungsten? Your guess is as good as mine. Right, so I think it's time to expand a little on the history of the Blood Watermelon chapter. Would an individual one be a blood watermelon? Are there a plural of them blood watermelons? Or are they like sheep and it's the same, singular or plural? It's like a group of blood watermelon. Nah, that doesn't sound right. Anyways, I grabbed myself 5 more random words using number generation from the list. Now, what do we have here? Muck. Okay, cool. Muck, you could do a fair bit with that. And corn. Okay, so we got another corn here from a different person. That's fair. Number 3, cadaver. I'm going to assume this is meant to be cadaver, like a human body, and it's spelt with an E rather than an A. But you know what? We'll take it as given. Number 4, we have silence. This is a cool one. We can do some good stuff with this. And lastly, number 5, we have the anti-disestablishmentarianism. Nice. Not used that word for a long time, and not enough people do, in my opinion. Okay, please write their history, namely events of note that serve to define who they are as a chapter today. Please incorporate the following words in their history. I'm very excited for this, especially with that last word. Okay. The history of the Blood Watermelon chapter. The Blood Watermelon, often referred to as the Tungsten Templars, have a history as unorthodox as their name. Formed during the 21st founding, they were meant to be a proud extension of the Imperial Fist lineage. Yeah, the name really lends to that. However, their fate was shaped by grim trials, heretical misunderstandings, and battles of attrition so brutal, they became legend. Alright. The Muck Fields of Cadaver in M38.211. Okay, Muck Fields of Cadaver. They made it like a planet, I guess? Planet. Excellent. Upon being assigned to the agri-world of Cadaver, the chapter expected a minor skirmish against local rebels. Instead, they found themselves mired, both literally and figuratively, in an insurgency of an unknown cult. The entire southern continent was a nightmarish bog of rotting vegetation and sucking muck, making traditional trench warfare nearly impossible. Ambushes came from beneath the waters, and even their famed tungsten-reinforced fortifications were swallowed by the shifting mire. The rebels worshipped an unknown entity, their chants filled with feverish talk of the silence that comes before the red harvest. Nice bit of silence there, I like that. After 9 years of brutal counterinsurgency, the chapter discovered the horrifying truth. A hidden temple to Khorne was buried beneath the swamps, with entire villages being drained of blood as ritual offerings. When the Blood Watermelon finally breached the temple, they found only silence. The cultists had sacrificed themselves entirely to fuel some unknown future catastrophe. This event shaped the chapter's paranoia towards cult activity. Since Cadaver, they have been zealous investigators of heretical movements, seeking to crush corruption before it takes root. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that. I really like that. So these guys, these Blood Watermelons, they lean towards dealing with chaos and cults and stuff. That's cool. The schism of anti-disestablishmentarianism. M39002. Now, I really am hoping anti-disestablishmentarian is not a planet, because it would suck to live there and give your address. Anyways, one of the strangest and most defining chapters in their history was an imperial misinterpretation of their cultural practices. Okay. As a fleet-based chapter, the Blood Watermelon often constructed towering mobile fortresses on conquered worlds to serve as command centers during prolonged sieges. Okay, fairs. I know that they sometimes do construct outposts, the Space Marines, but it sounds like these guys, they just make full-on mobile fortresses, like, Necron-style pyramids. That's mad. I love it. However, an ecclesiarchy faction accused them of anti-disestablishmentarianism, claiming that they were creating a pseudo-religious state within the Imperium rather than respecting the transient nature of Imperial rule. Oh dear. A schism erupted. Certain Imperial factions demanded the Blood Watermelon be sanctioned, while others defended them as a bastion against heretical forces. Okay, cool. Ultimately, an inquisitorial ruling spared them from being declared renegades, but the damage was done. The Blood Watermelon developed a deep-seated distrust of Imperial bureaucracy, fair enough, relying more on their Sisters of the Crimson Seed allies, beneficial channels. Okay, cool, there they are again, the Sisters. Nice, so there's a cool partnership there. I think I might have to make the Sisters too one of these days. That's pretty dope, I like that. Alright, and next, the Tungsten Oath and the Massacre at Karnath Ridge. Okay, so we're going further into that Karnath Ridge deal. M41.198. The chapter's greatest test came against the forces of Khorne once more. The World Eaters' warband, the Butcher's Roar, led by the infamous Demon Prince Kael'vor. I believe that's original, I don't recall it. Either way, the Shatterer, Kael'vor the Shatterer, launched a bloody invasion of the Karnath system. With no reinforcements expected, the Blood Watermelon took a tungsten oath, a vow to never retreat, never surrender, and to make their bodies as unbreakable as their weapons. It's pretty cool, I can get behind that. The siege of Karnath Ridge became legendary. Outnumbered 15-1, the chapter held the mountain bastions for 40 days, their power moles cracking skulls while bolters spat tungsten core rounds through corrupted ceramite. I love the tungsten core round thing, that's really cool. When Kael'vor finally breached their lines, the chapter's remaining 200 warriors counterattacked, breaking the Khorne warband with sheer attritional savagery. Nice. The Blood Watermelon lost over 600 brothers, leaving them on the brink of annihilation. So pretty much all of the chapter was deployed there. That's pretty badass. That's some Minotaur nonsense right there. Survivors of Karnath Ridge carry the Tungsten Scar, a ritual branding signifying that they did not break and never will. Pretty sure that's lifted from the White Scars, but you know what? It's still pretty cool. Right, we're rolling with this. So, I jumped on the internet to grab myself one of those sheets, the chapter color sheet, so you can get a nice color going. Right, let's go back to chapter colors here. What does it say? Deep crimson red, black pauldrons, green helmet stripe. Right then, crimson red it is. Alright, cool. I like this. I'm pretty down with it. I mean, I look at it and I think some kind of very garish blood angel, but still. And of course I'm having the eagle, the wings on the front there, if you would be, just not too garish, they sort of blend with the rest of them. Alright, and with this beautiful Blood Watermelon done, it is time to paint us a Blood Watermelon. Yes, absolutely. So, before I do that, however, I think there's one more thing to search. We're going to need a few more words for this from the wall. Let's ask it for a nice monologue.
Brothers, sons of tungsten, warriors of the unyielding wall, look upon these shattered battlements. Look upon these trenches filled with trunks of the dead. The foe thinks us beaten. They believe our spirits cracked, our resolve shaken. They do not understand. We are the Blood Watermelon. We do not break. We do not fall. We do not yield. They come with fire and blades, with sorcery and deceit. They believe in magic and madness, in demons and ruin. But I tell you now, there is no magic stronger than tungsten will. No curse more terrible than our wrath. No force in this galaxy greater than the might of a fortress held by the faithful. The enemy comes in waves like a mindless squeak stampede, gnashing, biting, screaming their false gods' names. But we are the wall. We stand and they break upon us like the tide upon cliffs. Let them rage. Let them hurl their bodies at us until their corpses stack so high they blot out the sun. We will endure as we always have. And when their fury fails them, when their war cries turn to gasping silence, we will emerge from the ruins and grind them into dust beneath our boots. Some of you are weary. Some of you are wounded. I see it in your eyes. You wonder if you can fight another hour, another minute, another breath. I say this to you now. If I stand, I will stand beside you. If you fall, I will lift you up. If you die, your name will be carved into the ever-family standard, and your sacrifice will never be forgotten. So drink from your cups, brothers. Eat your rations, even if they are Imperial-issued nutrients bricks that taste like a half-baked cupcake dipped in ash. Laugh, even if your lips are cracked and your throats dry. For every breath you take in defiance is another nail in the enemy's coffin. And when the signal is given, when the horns sound and the gates open, charge forth with the fury of a dying star. Make them fear the might of those who cannot be broken. Tear down their banners. Crack their armor like the shell of a rotted egg. And when their champions kneel before you, begging for mercy, remind them, a fortress does not forgive. We are the sons of siege. We are the storm that never ends. We are the blood watermelon. And we shall never fall. For the chapter, for the emperor, for the wall. Charge!
Now, for a somewhat improvised and slapdash paint job, I think he's looking pretty splendid. I'm very pleased with him. Now, I actually did more with this guy. There was also words that I used to make more lore for him, but I figured it made the video rather long, so if you guys are interested to hear that, do let me know in the comments down below. And of course, like and subscribe and all that good jazz. I do appreciate it. And of course, consider joining the Discord if you want to have any future words of your own added to any future silly shenanigans. I also want to give an extra special thank you to my Patreon members and YouTube members, particularly my Patreon lieutenants, Papa Berry, Phoenix's Den, and Billy. Everyone's support is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for watching, and remember, the Emperor is always guiding your brush.